For the 6B video, I would say some areas of strength is kind of still that continuance of the students understanding the expectations and procedures that are put in place when taking notes. Um, Majority of the students, specifically the ones that you can see within view, are sorry, excuse me, are paying attention. They are, turned facing the board. They have their notes out in front of them. They're actively taking notes, or at least actively listening to determine what kind of notes they need to take, um, based on what they need. And so I think that can only be done, especially during direct instruction, when you have these procedures and expectations already put in place. I think it also speaks about kind of the relationships and the rapport and kind of the environment that is created within my classroom. I always kind of tell students I don't typically take up a whole lot of their time, especially for how long this one lesson was, but standing and monopolizing kind of what we're doing in class. Oftentimes, it's a quick 10-15 minute check-in, me leading a little bit of a mini lesson, direct instruction, and then the students going off and doing their own thing. So I think it was pretty clear and evident in the video that the students do, respect kind of some of the policies and stuff that I have in place in my room. I also think another strength that was seen was kind of calling on those students with the low expectancy and trying to get them to respond in an environment they typically don't respond in. And there were two that didn't say anything, but I think kind of the way that I went about it, rather than being overly pushy and getting angry, keeping a calm demeanor, trying to give those probing questions to where that they feel the confidence to be able to create some form of response or answer the question. And oftentimes the one, once it got to a point I realized they weren't going to respond, saying, okay, who can help them out? It tended to be a peer that isn't like an eager learner, but maybe isn't low expectancy, kind of that like middle ground average group of kids that ended up raising their hand when they typically don't and answering the question. And I think part of that, again, is because they see, somebody that they know, because they kind of pick up on it, those low expectancy students being called on and kind of stepping in and helping them out. And it's giving them that level of confidence, when if it's only the eager learners constantly answering the questions and responding, then they may not feel, as eager or confident to answer a question, even though they're kind of in that average range. Some areas that I would love to improve on within this video is, again, kind of this, way that I am questioning students, or not questioning them, but asking a question to them. I would like to use more of like a reflective style of question, and then allowing them a bit more time of processing that information, rather than only, giving them a question that ultimately, again, makes them feel like they have to agree with me. And if they don't, then, they're wrong. So allowing them a bit more time to reflect on what I'm asking them. So one of the examples was like I asked them, like, can you see the connection, or are we seeing the connection? In reality, there's really only one answer to that. If I'm giving them the connection to the two topics, where instead, if I can change that to a how are you all seeing the connection? Or, why is this a connection? Allowing them more of kind of those reflection style questions to allow for that deeper level of thinking.